right? Development of an approach to the problem. The development of an approach to the problem involves identifying factors that go on to influence the research design. So that means we already discussed about the problem, right? Environmental context of the problem, management decision problem, and then we fine tune the research problem. So then now the researchers have a research problem, right? So then they want to develop an sorry, development of an approach to the problem. So then to approach to the problem means how they can solve that problem. So then they want to approach. So then the approach, first of all, they try to identify some factors related to the problem. So that's what the development of an approach the problem involves. So now you can understand, right? Development of an approach to the problem involves identifying factors that go on to influence research design, right? The development of an approach to the problem involves identifying factors that go on to influence research design. So then, so what are the factors which will be considered in the uh, research to solve the problem? So that is the idea. A key element of this stage involves the selection, adoption, and development of an appropriate theoretical framework. So then now you can understand to initiate a research, normally the theoretical underpinning or theoretical base is important, because if you are going to do a research, first you have identified the problem. So now to approach that problem, you have to understand some theories related to that concepts, right? Customer, say for example, service quality and customer satisfaction. There are some theories available. So then you cannot decide what are the factors, right, in the service quality or satisfaction, because already established or developed theories available related to that concept. Now you can understand there are some theories available related to the service quality and customer satisfaction. Now you want to adapt or you want to use that theories as a base for your research. So that's why a key element of this stage, right? A key element of this stage involves the selection, adoption, and development of an appropriate theoretical framework. So then relevant theoretical framework. So understanding the interrelated characteristic of nature of the target respondents, right? And that means we have a theory. So now what we are going to do, we know some concepts or factors we identified from that theory. Now we want to do a research. So then we consider the target audience. Target audience means respondents, from where we are going to collect the data. So that's why understanding the interrelated characteristics of the nature of the target respondents, the issues to be elicited from them, right? Issues to be elicited means we are going to get some ideas from them. Then they will reveal, they will tell, right, the related issues and them, and the context in which this will happen rely upon sound theory, right? So where already we have selected some theories related to our problem. Now we are going to select some target audience or respondents to get some ideas from them, right, based on the theory. So then you see the example, consider a research problem, understanding the factors influencing consumer preferences for eco-friendly products. Here you see identifying factors influencing research design, selection, adoption, and development of the framework. Importance of sound theory, guidance for measurement understanding, consideration of data analysis are the part of the So then more detailedly, if we want to discuss about this approach, we can have some a practical example, right? Say one company want to launch a new beverage product. So beverage products in the sense some soft drinks. The company plan to introduce a new soft drink. The problem here you can understand a beverage company wants to uh, introduce a new health drink in the to the millennials, right? So that they need to understand the factors influencing the millennials' beverage choices. So then here, theoretical framework, right? First of all, they want to decide the theoretical framework. Theoretical framework may normally the theory of planned behavior. Theory of planned behavior. Normally, you can search in the um, research, right? Literature, so that means previous research to identify the theory related to the uh, behavior of the consumers, right? So because if they are going to introduce a new health drink to the millennials, right? So millennials means who was born in the during the millennial period. So then what are their behavior? How they can understand their behavior? So then there is a theory, right? Now you can understand relating the theory to the problem. The problem is because they are going to introduce the soft drinks to the certain target groups, so in this case, they want to understand the behavior. So then what are the factors? So related to the theory of planned behavior to understand the factors influencing the millennials health drink choices. So then this theory is common for every consumer behavior. Now to the particular issue, now you can understand related to the soft drinks, they can use this. So then this theory of planned behavior suggests that behavior is driven by attitudes, right? So then what are the concept of factors related to this research? One is attitudes of the consumers according to the theory of planned behavior, subjective norms, right? Subjective norms of the consumers and perceived behavioral control, how their behavior is controlled by some perceived factors. So then these things they can adapt into the theory. So now you can understand the approach to the problem always starting from some theory. Theory already means already established some concept by the scholars, right? Based on the scientific research, they have created this theory. Now these theories can be applied to the different scenarios like this. In this context, now we are discussing about the soft drinks, right? Introduction. So then when the company right to introduce beverages, they want to understand the attitudes. What is the attitudes of the millennials towards the drinks, subjective norms towards the soft drinks, and perceived behavior control related to the soft drink. Because in a perceived behavior control, these are the factors or the concepts from the theory can be included in the research. So then nature of the target respondents may be, as we discussed, millennials. Millennials means the persons who born during this millennial period, particularly those with a keen interest in health and wellness. Because that millennials now, they are mostly the adults, younger generations. They are more concerned about their health and wellness. So that's why they don't go for a carbonated drinks. They are preferring to have some healthy drinks. So then that may be their attitude. So then the theory, already as we discussed, theory of planned behavior they can use. And then the issues elicit to get some issues related to the attitude towards health drinks, taste, health benefits, and brand reputations. So sometimes established brands, the younger generations prefer their attitudes towards the established popular brands and the attitude towards health benefits, attitude towards the taste. So then they can consider these factors in the research. And another one is a social influence, recommendation from friends, right? Recommendation from friends, uh, and social media influencers also, right? This and perceived ease of integrating the health thing to their lifestyle. So that's perceived behavior control means how they perceive, how they see this easy, convenience, affordable. Affordable means with their purchasing power, they can purchase it, these things. Then these things they can get from the respondents. The context. When we talk about the context, the research will be conducted through online surveys and focus groups in urban areas where these millennials have a high presence. Because mostly millennials may be available in the urban area and are active on social media. So then consider this group as a target people to get that results. So then the data analysis plan also development to approach the plan. The use statistical techniques to analyze survey data, factor analysis to identify key attitudinal factors, and thematic analysis for group discussion to identify common themes and insights like that. So the different research methods they can use, right? So like that, another example also we can understand because evaluating an advertising campaign. So then their problem may be an automotive company wants to evaluate the effectiveness of its recent advertising campaign promoting an eco-friendly car model, right? So one automobile company plan to uh, right examine the effectiveness of recent advertising campaign about the eco-friendly car model because the company sells eco-friendly cars in the market and they have initiated some advertisement campaigns to promote the eco-friendly cars now. So then the problem is whether that advertisement is effective to increase the sales, right? So then what they can do, so then they want to do a research. The approach to the problem here, then as we discussed, the theoretical framework. So then here, there are some theories available related to the advertisements. The AIDA model mean attention, interest, desire, and action. Right? This is the theory is available. So then AIDA model, A for attention, I for interest, desire, D for desire, and A for action. Right? So then they can use this theory as the base. They can use this theory as the base to assess the effectiveness of advertising campaign. Right? So then how they can measure the advertising campaign? So they may have a say for example, you plan to evaluate the advertisement's effectiveness. You don't know what are the factors to be considered to ask some right questions or measures. So then what you can do, you can search on theories related to the advertisement. So then that's, as I said, the AIDA model is a very popular theory related to the advertisement. So that means attention, interest, desires, and action. So then you can use this AIDA model as a basic theory, right, to approach to the problem. So then this model, so the AIDA model helps in understanding how consumers move from awareness to purchase. That means how these advertisements getting their attention, how the advertisement get their interest, and how it convert their desire, and how they are going to involve in the action of this purchase. So then target audience also current and potential customers who are environmentally concise because they are more concerned about the environment and interested in substantial automotive solutions, right? So interested in substantial automotive solutions. So then they consider these as the respondents to get. So what are the things, what are the ideas they can get from them? Awareness and recall of the advertising company, right? Issues to elicit, but they can do that. Awareness and recall of the advertising because they have already introduced or initiated advertising campaigns. So now they want to understand people whether have any awareness about the advertisement. Okay, if they are aware, So then ask them to recall about the advertisement. What people are recalling about the advertisements. Then interest generated by the campaign in the eco-friendly car model. So then asking questions about their interest towards the eco-friendly car model by seeing the advertisements. Then this year intend to purchase the eco-friendly car. So then asking questions whether they have any plan to this year. They have this year to purchase a car. Then actual purchase actions or inquiries generated by the campaign. So then how many people are ready to purchase in action, right? So then now you can understand this is the approach, right? Asking questions based on the theory related to the problem, selecting the respondents, asking the questions means simply you can understand it's a questionnaire. So how you can create the questionnaire? So you all know that researchers normally use the questionnaire, a survey method. So here, how they are creating that questions in the question. So then normally researchers use some theories based on the theory, right? Based on the theory, uh, they can consider the facts, concepts. Already researchers have used theories and already researchers have created measures or questions. So then the particular researcher also can adapt that theories and concepts in their research. Now you can understand this is the approach to the problem. And the context, normally the research will involve pre and post campaign surveys because before the advertisements also they can conduct some surveys asking some questions to elicit their understanding. Then after solving the advertisements, after that asking their interest actions. So then they can understand is there any um, differences, right? Whether sometimes people don't have awareness before seeing any advertisements, but after seeing the advertisements, they can have some awareness, interest, and action. So then, based on this, they can get some answers whether that campaign can have some sort of impact on the sales of eco-friendly cars. So use social media analytics to track engagement metrics because now most of the advertisements they are uh, putting the advertisements on the social media to reach the audience. So then they can measure that effectiveness of the advertisement based on the likes of the social media, right? Promotions and share how many shares, what are the comments, right? So then they can do because that kind of social media analytics also available automatically. The tools can analyze this likes, shares, and comments and prepare the report and correlate these with the sales data to assess the campaign's impact on actual sales. So then now you can understand this is the way normally research approach to the problem, right? So then third step is research design development. Research design develop. A research design is a framework or blueprint for conducting a marketing research project. So then this is a guideline. A research design is a framework or blueprint for conducting a marketing research project. It details the procedures necessary for obtaining the required information. Right? It details the procedures necessary for obtaining the required information. The first step we identify the problem. Second one, design approach to the problem. Then research design develop. In the research design develop because based on the framework, the theoretical framework, they have identified the factors, a concept to be included in the research. Then in the research design develop steps, a research design is a framework or blueprint for conducting a marketing research project. A blueprint for conducting a marketing research project. So it details the procedures, right? It details the procedures necessary for obtaining the required info. So what are the procedures they can follow, whether they can have a survey. So before the survey, they prepare the survey work, right? So based on the concept previously they identified from the theory, now they are going to develop the survey instrument. Instrument in the sense here the questionnaire normally survey instruments normally referred as a questionnaire. So then how they can prepare the questionnaire, how they can validate that questions, right? Uh, so then these details is give some sort of a the guideline, right? The procedures necessary for obtaining the required information. So its purpose is to establish a study design and that will either test the hypothesis of interest and or determine the possible answers to set research questions. So its purpose is to establish study design that will either test the hypothesis of interest. So hypothesis of interest in the sense, um, so then advertising campaign increases sales. This is the assumption, right? So then the hypothesis normally already we have discussed the statement, right? Statement says the advertising campaigns increases sales. Right? There's a possibility. There's a relationship. So like that, there may be some statement. So then that statement they want to test whether that statement is correct or wrong, right? So it's a purpose to establish a study design that will either test the hypothesis of interest and or determine the possible answers to set the research questions, right? So the research questions, because based on the research questions, they can, based on the problem, they can create the research question, then they can have a research objectives, and then they can have the hypothesis. Now they want to test. So then to test the hypothesis, what are the questions they can ask? What are the, right? The scales they can use and ultimately provide the information needed for the decision making based on this. So when we discuss these as an example, right? If we want to discuss, so in the research design development, normally the components of research design may be the research methods, right? Selection of qualitative or quantitative methods, the data collection technique, deciding on surveys or interviews or focus groups or observational method, then sampling plan, right? Determine the target population, sample size, and sample method, and data analysis plan also they can include. Choosing the statistical or analytical techniques for data interpretation, and and budget, estimating the time required and the cost involved also considered in the research design. So then here you see the product launch, the beverage company objective, uh, determine the potential market acceptance of a new flavored water, right? So the beverage. So then problem, the particular company is going to introduce a new beverages. Now the objectives is to determine the potential market acceptance, whether people accept or not. Determine the potential market acceptance of that new software. So research methods may be the mix of qualitatives and the quantitatives, or only qualitatives or quantitative. It depends. And data collection techniques, normally they can conduct a focus group, conduct in major cities together in-depth consumer insights about flavor, preferences, and packaging, and surveys distributed online and in-store to large audience to quantify the preferences. And sampling, target population, health concise individuals aged between 18 to 45. Sample size 500 surveys respondents and 5 focus groups with the 10 participants each. And the sampling with the certified random sampling to ensure representation across different age groups and regions. Then the data analysis plan, they can conduct focus group analysis, right? The focus group analysis, they can conduct a thematic analysis to identify common themes and sentiments. Survey analysis, they can use statistical analysis to determine the most preferred flavors and the preferences of purchase. And time frame within 3 months, right? 1 month for the planning, 1 month for the data collection, 1 month for the analysis, they can do that. Maybe it is a small research, right? And maybe cost also 100,000, maybe covering the participant incentives, data collection tools, analytical fees, and right. So then this is the way normally research is designed. So what are the aspects considered in the data design means? uh, research method, data collection techniques, sampling plan, data analysis plan, and timelines. These are the things normally part of the research design.